All right, so today that we are called out for an AC condensate clog. Most aren't too bad. It actually takes a few years to develop an AC condensate clog, but once they do develop, you could expect them every season going forward. This particular one was pretty bad, and it looks like we're gonna end up hydrojetting out the drain lines just to make sure that essentially the lines are back to their original state when they were installed brand new. So we're gonna go clean the drain with some traditional sewer equipment, loosen everything up, and then go ahead and get the hydrojet going. So here in a minute, we'll go ahead and go inside, take a look at the location of the AC condensate drain and where we'll be working inside, and then we'll be able to basically take care of everything else outdoors. We're gonna be using the trailer jetter. This is probably the largest jetter situation you'll ever find. As far as residential applications go, there are quite a few smaller versions, but today we're just gonna take this through their main drain line and get everything cleared for them. So the hydrojet, basically what it really comes down to is it's almost the same thing as a pressure washer. We're sending a pressure washer down the drain, and essentially it's knocking off everything off the drain walls and cleaning it just like somebody would come out, pressure wash your driveway. We're doing the same thing to the drain pipes, basically putting them back in the same state that they were in when they were installed brand new. It's definitely one of the most efficient setups. There are smaller versions, especially when you're more or less working indoors. This is gonna take care of anything residential main lines as well as commercial grade applications. So this is our rigid sea snake sewer camera. We're gonna go ahead and see just what we're dealing with before we get started. One of our technicians already came out yesterday, made his initial diagnostics, and I'm just gonna see what I'm getting into before we start running everything. The AC condensation drain is over in the master bathroom, so we'll be starting from there. Here at Reliant, we're a big fan of giving 5-star service, so part of that is we're making sure that we're leaving the house better than we found it as much as we possibly can. So we're just gonna go ahead and put some shoe booties on. That's gonna prevent us from bringing any mud, dirt, anything else into the home. And here we go. Basically, your AC condensation drain line is usually hooked up to a black hose like this. It goes into a Y off of your P-trap assembly, and then all that condensation basically is supposed to flow down the drain. Now, during the winter months, when we're not using our AC units, that condensation actually solidifies, turns into more of like a gelatin. And then once we start using the AC again during the summer months, the new fluid pushes that gelatin into the drain line, causing clogs. It does take a few years of that process to actually create a clog large enough to basically stop up the sink, as you can see here. But once it does happen, you can expect to see it every season going forward. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and drain down this P-trap. And you'll see that the level of the sink starts to drop with us doing this. So basically loosening up this bottom nut of the P-trap will allow a lot of that liquid to come down. I filled my bucket up about halfway before I go ahead and empty it, and then I'll go ahead and continue the process. So when you're doing this, you can either empty the water down accessible drain, toilet will work, and then you just go ahead and continue, loosen that bottom nut. Alternatively, if you have a shop vac available, you can just shop vac it out of the sink, and then you'll have minimum water coming out of this drain. Thank you, sir. And look at that. Someone lost an earring. Go ahead and set that up there for the customer. So basically, what we've drained down is to this point, the water level. So when I take this cap off, we're gonna get a little bit more water coming out of the drain. So be prepared for that. All right. We're gonna go ahead and use our camera, scope the line, see how bad of a situation we're dealing with. We may be getting a sewer machine involved here in just a second. Now we can see the camera going down that way. Pretty good clog. Go ahead and just leave that alone for right now and go ahead and get our hands on the sewer machine real fast. All right, so this is just a little M18 sewer machine. Works great for these type of condensate clogs. And essentially we just want to make sure we're going downhill with it. It'll bind up a little bit and then typically have no problem getting through the rest. We actually see what's going on the camera as well as we go down and come back up. And that should basically make a pathway for our camera to at least get past. Not always the easiest thing to see through a sewer camera, but we're gonna go through all of this. Yeah, this whole sewer drain line just has condensate debris everywhere. So it looks like we're finally into a larger drain line. One of the things I like to do is run hot water down this drain, and it kind of helps clean everything up. It also helps clean your camera equipment. So just the hot water alone is cleaning up this drain really well. Something a lot of people don't know about these AC condensate clogs is they do solidify in the winter, but if you run enough hot water, you can actually melt it back down into a liquid and really clean up the drain. What's even better to do is to basically fill up your whole sink basin full of hot water and then just let it drain down. Do that 2 times in a row. You do that once a day for a week, you'll probably get this drain looking pretty good. So we were doing all that with water running. We're gonna let it drain, and then now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the results. Night and day difference. And then you can just imagine what it's gonna look like after we hit it with the hydrojet. But basically now we've got everything piled up here in this drain here. Go ahead and push that down the drain. Let's take a look. So right here, where were we? We're a little further down. I think I saw where the drain right next to it ties in. Definitely get a arm workout doing this for a living. Just taking a look at this. Just taking a look at all the connections to fittings as we pass through them, just making sure everything's been put together well. Right here we have a little bit of standing water, so we're gonna see how long that lasts. We're at 63 feet, 9 inches. I shouldn't really have any reason to be underwater. Run as much hot water as you can. Don't be shy with it. I don't recommend using Drano or chemicals. A lot of times those chemicals can be detrimental towards the drain system itself. It'll definitely take care of everything inside of the drain, but it'll mess the drain system up as well, and most of those companies won't tell you that. So we've got quite a bit of debris in the drain, the main drain line. Let's go ahead and run hot water through this fixture here. Or you can run it through both. Like I said, probably best way to clean off your camera or any other equipment that you're running through the drain system. Nice hot water, it's gonna clean it right up. You can see that everything I'm pulling back is relatively clean. But I feel pretty good about how this drain is operating now. 1,000 times better than what it was when we got here. So we're gonna go ahead and hydrojet the main line outside and get the rest of this debris out of the system. And that's just a fraction of what you'll see in the drain system. Go ahead and get that clean out nice and tight. And then what we like to do is, at least this is the way I'm training my guys, we'll just go ahead and leave a paper towel right there. Have the homeowners or the tenants, whoever's staying at the residence, keep an eye on this, make sure nothing drips. Very unlikely, but better safe than sorry. After a few days, they don't notice anything dripping, and there's a drip right there. More than likely it's just residual water. So we'll go ahead and get all this cleaned up pretty well and throw a fresh one in there. And we'll come back and check on that before we leave for the day. But just a great way to make sure that you didn't make any mistakes and that you don't leave the house leaking, which usually surely wasn't before we got here. So, all right. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the fun outside stuff. And there's quite a bit of debris in the main line now that we've cleared out those lavatory condensate drains. Right. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get the machine turned on and get back to it. We'll go ahead and use this one. All right. The nice thing about these trailer jetters, ours specifically, we have a remote that'll turn the pressure on and off. So this thing has 5 or 6 jets on the back of it, 1 jet forward. So it pretty much takes off by itself, does most of the work for you. It's actually quite difficult to pull it back. So see how it goes. Tons of dirty water coming through there. In just a few seconds, we got pretty far up the drain line. We'll go ahead and keep it there and watch this thing just fly past. That's a pretty good show of it.
Let's get angle of it.
And we're gonna go ahead and sneak past it. Okay, that's the end. That's the toilet going up. So we definitely don't want to send the jetter
up that.
Correct. Drain lines are already way cleaner than they were before we got started. There we go. That's it. The drain line is going to basically look like it was just installed yesterday compared to what it was when we got here today. To review, we came out here for AC condensate clog, went ahead and cleared it, got most of that debris down into a larger drain line, made sure everything was operational, and then we proceeded to hydrojet the main line all the way to the furthest fixture, all the way back to the clean out. And those drains don't get in any better shape than that. As you guys saw earlier, we went and found a little earring in the P-trap. Gonna let the customers know and make sure that they're aware of it. We definitely like to make anyone aware of anything that we find in the drains, especially if we're able to retrieve it and get it back to them. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.